Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up. Shorty what you want, shorty what you need. My niggas run game, we ain't never leave. Counting up this money, we ain't never sleeping. You got V12s, I got 12 V's. Got bottles, got weed, got Molly. I'm all the way up. Shorty what you want, I got what you need. Shorty what you want, I got what you need.
Welcome everybody. Week 11 press conference. Eastern Washington coming to town. With us today, Hunter Mayguiness helped pave the way for 412 rushing yards in the Montana offense, and Nash Fouch 4 tackles. Great defensive effort, a shutout. We'll start with Coach Hauck. Maybe your final thoughts on a great win for the Griz, and then Eastern Washington coming to town this week.
Okay. That was a really good, complete win for our team on Saturday. You know, shutout. It was big. That's the top pass offense in our league, and I think they were third in the country going into the game. So that was big. Offensively, we had our way. School record first downs, nearly a school record in yards. A lot of guys got to play. So with that, we're on to Eastern. So just go forth. Okay.
Initial thoughts on
Yeah, it's a big game, obviously, for our team. Chance to get our 7th win. You know, it's Military Appreciation Day, which is always really cool, something we've chosen to do every year and around near Veterans Day. It's close to a sellout if it's not. I think it'll be there by the end of the week. Eastern's they're a very skilled team. They've got a lot of weapons, particularly on the offensive side. We're concerned with a lot of things they're doing. They have a lot of offense to try to get a handle on. They view it as a rivalry game, and Coach Best and his staff always do a nice job of preparing for us. They have a lot of big plays on film, so big week of work ahead for us.
questions.
Hunter, just to look at the Cal Poly game, you know, you guys rushing for 412 yards just from the offensive lineman's perspective. What was that like, and especially seeing Nick have the game he had?
Well, it's awesome if we can run the ball for 412 yards. Obviously, we did a pretty solid job up front, just making sure that we communicated throughout the snow. And it's fun seeing Nick just rumbling and tumbling through the snow. He did a great job for us.
You guys have had a couple of games like that where the run game has been really good, and like the O-line has, you know, gotten a lot of reps together this season. So how do you guys carry that momentum going forward to keep that running game consistent like that?
Just got to keep on watching film of these guys, making sure that we're on the same page, make sure that we're communicating, make sure we got the right scheme going for these guys, and once we do that, we'll be fine.
Then Nash, a couple big hits from you in the Cal Poly game, and just defense was kind of on point as they typically are. Just how much energy could you guys see that? Like, with the weather's bad, you guys are making big hits like that. Like, how much did that kind of feel you guys in that game?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that go into the energy we had. One, obviously, we had a tough month of October, and I think we came out and everybody had some pent-up aggression to get out, and that was part of it. But I think the snow was huge for us because, I mean, me personally, that's the coolest game I've ever been a part of, and I think it was just kind of kick-started us when it started coming down in the first quarter pretty hard. They had to go up against 2 storms on Saturday night. It was snowing, and we were playing fast and physical. So,
Nash, when when the snow starts coming down in a game, that's obviously really fun. What's it like trying to mentally adjust to practicing when the weather's like this?
You say adjusting when we're practicing?
Yeah. What's it like to try to adjust to focus for practice when the weather does change?
Well, I think, you know, we have the same goal every day to go out and play fast, and I mean, we'll never slow ourselves down for weather or anything. So I don't think it really changes all that much.
Similar question for you, Coach. I mean, what sort of focus do you hope the guys have when it is snowy and cold and wet like this?
I think that, you know, I'll second what he said a little bit. Is we have a standard, and it doesn't really matter if it's hot out or cold out, or it's raining or it's dark or whatever. We're going to go play. In fact, I personally think it's harder to play when it's really hot than when it's cold. So we'll go to work. That's what we do.
Eastern Washington, how similar do they look? You played them twice last year. Are they doing anything different with Gunnar Talkington at quarterback than they were doing with Eric Berrier?
They're similar. I mean, they aren't going to be way different, and You know, they're not going to be exactly the same because they have different personnel, but very similar to what they were a year ago.
They do a good job of getting their receivers the ball in space and kind of letting those guys get yards after catch. What's your thoughts just on that element of the game?
Well, there's a lot of big plays, you know, both run and pass game, but a lot of them in the pass game. Number one, Roberson's a big play guy. He leads them in receptions and yards, but he's not the only one. Like I said, there are a lot of big plays on film. We're really concerned with their screen game. Is prevalent throughout in really every down and distance. So we got a big week of work ahead.
In just a few minutes, small business owners can now sign up for Blackfoot Communication Services. Whether it's dependable voice options or internet services, sign up simply by visiting blackfootsmallbusiness.com. Click on the services you wish, select an installation time and date, and you're done. Small business services at the touch of your fingers. Connect to more with Blackfoot Communications and blackfootsmallbusiness.com.
And Nash, they want to make you tackle in space. You guys are so good at tackling in space, though. So what do you think of just the challenge of Eastern's offense?
Yeah, like Coach said, they have really talented skill players, both sides of the ball. I think one thing that we might have going for us right now is Cal Poly came out and tried to screen game us, and I think we defended it pretty well. But like you said, just got to tackle in space. Getting on and off blocks is huge, especially on the perimeter, and getting their skill guys down on the ground.
Nash, when you guys, like, a lot of the guys on this team have seen Eastern last year, like, how much does that help? Just kind of, you guys are familiar with kind of what they do, just kind of all around, especially seeing them twice last year. Yeah,
and I mean, the passing game, they do a lot of stuff that can be problematic, especially because they have good skill players. But I think us seeing them twice last year, and, you know, we kind of have the same core guys and on the defense, especially in the backfield. So, and if they're not, I mean, Jaden's seen them, everybody's seen them. So we know what they're all about. We know what they're going to throw at us, and just got to go prepare and shut them out.
They saw us twice too.
Bobby, when you look at just kind of the game that your team had on offense, like, just how much confidence does that give you guys going into a game against a team like Eastern, where last year you had a lot of success on offense against them, and, you know, you guys are coming off such a strong performance this week?
Well, it's always exciting to have a good performance rather than a poor one. You certainly feel better about yourself. You know, we're the same team week to week. We just need to perform at a certain level, and we performed at a high level on Saturday. And you know, obviously, it's my hope as the head coach that continues.
Bobby, I know you talked post-game a little bit, and Lucas did, being a San Diego kid, his first game in the snow. What did you think, just in general, coming back from injury, his first game back? What were your thoughts on his performance?
He played really well. Yeah, he played well. He was on point with a lot of things. Didn't make, you know, there's no perfect games, but he didn't make very many mistakes. He made a few. Really thought he played well. He was very enthused to be back out there, which I think is contagious, whether it's Hunter and the front guys or Nash and the other secondary guys. I mean, it's all contagious, and Lucas was excited to get back out there, and it showed.
Eastern's defense, they've, you know, seems like a lot of Big Sky offenses have had success against them this year. What do you see from them scheme-wise? What does it look like they're trying to do on that side of the ball?
Oh man, it's early week, but I mean, you know, they're like all of us on defense. We're just trying to stop people. In this day and age in college football, we're just trying to get the ball carrier on the ground. I mean, that's what it is. It was brought up earlier by Kyle. I mean, it's a space game in a lot of regards, and you know, they're playing a pretty good number of snaps in man coverage. We're concerned with their pressure. We think they're gonna blitz us some, and we got to handle that.
Hunter, wanted to ask you about Lucas Johnson coming back too. What sort of differences do you notice when he's at the helm of the offense?
Well, yeah, back to what Coach said, he was very enthused to be out there, and it all gives us a little bit of juice and energy about us. And obviously, when we keep putting points on the board, and he's keeping the energy up, it all keeps our energy up, and we keep on having a good time out there. So it's a lot of fun.
He had that nice 25-yard run on the first offensive possession. Does that open things up for the offense?
I'm sure it does. My job is to just go out there and block. So whatever comes my way, I just got to block it.
Coach, what do you remember about the game against Eastern last year here, the playoff game?
Oh, well, first of all, we won pretty convincingly. I thought we had a kind of like last Saturday, we played pretty well in all three phases. I also remember they got down a bunch, and I think they threw it 82 times or something like that. Those are the things that kind of stick out.
I mean,
57 points.
yeah, right.
Oh, that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Same thing for you, Nash. Just the fact that they did throw the ball. I mean, I think that's the most pass attempts in the history of the Big Sky Conference. So what was it like playing defensive back in that game?
Yeah, I remember there was one drive specifically before halftime where I was like, whew, they were throwing the ball, they were going tempo, and I remember running up to the locker room and being pretty gassed. But that's what they do, and they have the talent at receiver to do it. So wouldn't expect anything different this Saturday.
And Coach, so much is always made of their quarterbacks, their receivers, but they've run the ball pretty darn good over the years as well. So how essential is that to sort of start with when you're defending their offense?
They've always, to my memory, they've always been striving for balance. It's not just a pass offense; it's a balanced offense, which makes them really effective. They're always good. They're always good up front. They always have some running backs that are pretty good. They always seem to have quarterbacks that are able to run their offense, and this year's no different.
Anybody else? Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Join Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any Town Pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.